Hi everyone. So now let's have a look at a couple of basic content management scenarios with Valo Intranet. I will cover in my demo the following topics: creating news, creating events, content pages, and social features. So here I have the front page of the intranet in front of me. So let's say that I want to create one of these news items to be displayed on this news carousel right here. Okay, so how do I get there? There are many ways to get into the news center and creating a new news item. For instance, I can just click on a news item here, and this takes me to the news center where I have the selected news opened like this. So what I will do on the right hand side, I will just click create a post. This opens the form for creating a new news item. So this is a really simple and easy to use form. I will just enter the information here. So I have entered the title for the news item, up next the body. So here I have the editor with the normal styling options like this, and maybe in a typical scenario I would be copying and pasting the contents from somewhere else, so I will do just that. I will paste the contents for the news from a different source and then just clean up the styles a little bit, finalize the content like this, do whatever formatting I want to the news by using these basic editing features that you have in SharePoint and that are familiar to all users of the Office products. And next step is the category. So these categories are typically used as criteria for news filtering, so personalizing the front page experience, meaning that users from, in this case, from Helsinki and Hamburg will see this news item, whereas others will not. If you want this news item to be visible to everybody, then you will just either add all the categories or add none. Then it's a so-called global news item. You have a published date, so you can basically sort manually the news items in the listing by using this one. And for the news ingress, I can then enter some information here like this. Okay, then for the news image, we have here also improved the user experience by creating this drag and drop feature for the news. So you can either choose one of these existing news images like this, or you can just drag and drop an image from your local machine. So here I have a news image on my local machine, and I will just drag and drop it as part of this image repository. Now it's here, and now I'll just select it like this, and the news item has the image. Up next, I will choose whether or not this news is a so-called highlight news. What it means is that the highlight news are the ones that are displayed in the news carousel, whereas the non-highlight news are displayed in elsewhere in the news listing. Then I can also publish the news on behalf of another user. And finally, if we're installing Valo in Office 365 as opposed to SharePoint on-premises, then we have the option to use our native mobile app for iPhone and Android. And in these cases, the content producer can choose to send a push notification to the mobile app. Okay, so I will choose to highlight the news because I wanted it to show in the news carousel. I will not send a push notification in this case. So all I have to do now is publish the news item. It was published, and now I can go to the front page and see if it's there. Here it is. My newly created news item is visible right here on the front page. So now let's have a look at the next topic: how to create an event and publish it in the event calendar. So the event calendar displays the upcoming events, which might be trainings in the company, but also like external events like conferences or such. So, and the users can also register to the events and copy them to their local calendars. So the events I get to the event calendar by clicking on show more. So I will just create a new event for next Monday, for instance. So when I have Monday chosen, I will just click on add, and it opens the form for creating the new event. So this is intranet training, location, obviously I will define the start time and end time of this event. Then the event categories that you can use as filtering criteria. Let's say that you want to display somewhere in the intranet only the upcoming trainings and not everything that you have in the event calendar. You can then point that event calendar web part to only display the trainings from here. Okay, contact person for the event. Then if you have an external registration system, you can just copy and paste the URL here. And if you have some like related materials, you can also link them here. You can describe the event, and this is where you can also copy and paste the Skype link if you have it in your calendar, so the users will get this description into their calendars from right here. Then the office information, just like for the news, this can be used for targeting events per office. If there's a local event in the New York office, you might want to just publish this event for the people in New York. And yeah, you could also add an image to the calendar event. So when I'm done, I will just click save. So now the new event is published here in the event calendar, and I can also go back to the front page of the intranet where we had the events listing as well, and I can see that the new event, namely the intranet training, is right here in the event calendar. So users can click it open like this, and they can register to the event, and after that they can copy it into their local calendars. Cool, isn't it? So now let's have a look at the content pages, okay? So the intranet is obviously a lot more than the front page, more than the news and events. It's a whole content structure where people are looking for information about the company, for instance, about the countries and offices, financial information, the organization. There might be also pages about the internal services and so on. So let's say we want to add a piece of information under countries, for instance. So we will create a new page for Argentina. So new content items can be either subsites or pages. Now the benefit of subsites obviously is that subsites can further have subsites where pages cannot. So to create a new subsite, I'll just go to site contents, and here click on new subsite. I will give it the title, and as you can see, it's automatically filling the URL based on the title, and in most of the cases we will use the Valo template, subsite template. I will make this new subsite inherit the same permissions from above and inherit the navigation as well. So let's just click create. So now we have the new subsite created, and the idea of the whole custom page templates in Valo, as well as many other features, is that we want to enable the content producers to really focus on the content and not spend any time configuring the newly created subsites or pages. So I will just go and edit this page, and we can see what it's made up of. So as you can see, there are many zones and places for adding new web parts, so you can configure this new page in many different ways. But in a very simple and normal scenario, all you would do is fill in the page content right here, and then as you can see on the right hand side we have a couple of web parts readily available on the page. So there's a place for the page contact, some links, content editor for instance for a banner or such, and then related documents. If you don't need some of these web parts, you can just delete them from the page like this. So we would just enter the page content here. Maybe we also want to add images into the content area of the page, so that's really easy as well. So I will just choose a file, maybe from my local machine, like this. And when I'm done with the content, I can also define a contact for this page like this by just clicking on here. So here's a contact person for the page. I don't need any summary links, so I will just delete that web part. And finally, I will drag and drop a couple of attachment documents from my local machine into the page like this. So now I'm done with the content and I can just go on and publish the new page. So here the new page has been published, and as you can see there's also the breadcrumb trail, which always gives the users the impression of the feeling of location, where they are located in the site structure, and they can easily get back up in the site structure all the way to the front page if they need to. So what about the social features then? Well, in Valo Intranet, if it's installed in Office 365, our weapon of choice for social interaction is Yammer. So we have a lot of intelligent interactions with Yammer here. Obviously the social feed itself, so it's kind of the Yammer feed of each user embedded here on the front page. So anybody can publish contents here. So typically you ask questions here, you announce things here, so anybody can do that, and you can publish it from right here on the front page, either to the whole company, but you can also restrict the audience to certain Yammer groups. Then there are other features here from Yammer, such as the good work, meaning that it displays the latest praises from Yammer. The praises are a really powerful tool as well, and you cannot create any or publish any praises from here in the intranet, but you can just click on one of the praises and it takes you to Yammer, where you can do everything that you can do in Yammer, such as create new praises or announcements, anything like that. Well, now that we're talking, let's cover a couple of additional topics here. Namely, let's have a look at how to publish an Our People post, how to publish videos, and how to create blogs in Valo Intranet. So Our People is an element like this on the front page or anywhere else, where you can promote new employees or existing employees. So people write an article about themselves. So this is very similar to the news, namely we are leveraging SharePoint's blog feature here. So it's the same workflow for creating a new post. You click on create a post here, and you write the title, you write about the new employee, you define the category, and you can define their name here. In this case, the user image will be automatically fetched from the user profile, but you can also, if you want, you can manually upload or drag and drop the user's image right here into the post. And then finally you will just publish, and the new employee presentation is public. Then there's the latest video listing. So here we are leveraging the so-called video portal in Office 365. So whatever new videos there are in the video portal, this web part displays them. So to upload new videos, you just have to find your way to this waffle menu here, and from there the video portal here, and so the videos are organized in channels, so you can just open any channel and then just upload a video there, and as soon as it's uploaded and processed, it will be displayed on by the latest video web part. Now let's have a look at the blogs. So in Office 365, in Delve, every user has their own personal blog, and the latest blog entries are displayed by our web part called Our Blogs. Now you could either navigate to the Delve profile and from there create your own blog post, but we have created a shortcut to make it easier. So there's a button here called Create New Post. So the user, all they have to do is click on this button, and here I am seeing the editing view of the new blog entry. So I would just add the image, define the title, the subtitle, then create the content itself into the blog post, finally publish the blog post, and then it will be displayed in the blog post listing of the front page.